Hi everyone, let's discuss about synapse. Okay. Synapses are the point at which transmission of nerve impulse from one neuron to another neuron take place. The point at which the transmission of one neuron from a presynaptic neuron to a post-synaptic neuron takes place. And this is the structure of a neuron, which has a cell body, and an axon, and extending from the cell body there are small branches called dendrites, and the axon terminate at small branches, and they are called axon terminals. Okay. And the axon of the presynaptic neuron will divide into many branches. The axon is dividing into many branches, as we have seen just now here, and those small branches they end at terminal buttons. Those terminal buttons are the end points of those branches of the axon. Or they can also be called synaptic knobs or the terminal buttons. And you can see that here the terminal buttons is having its joint or junctions with the postsynaptic neuron, another neuron. A neuron which is present before the synapse is presynaptic neuron, and the neuron present after the synapse is postsynaptic neuron. And the terminal buttons consist of vesicles. There are circular vesicles, and these vesicles are present within the terminal buttons. Within the terminal buttons there are synaptic vesicles, and these synaptic vesicles contain neurotransmitters. They contain neurotransmitters. And there is a gap between the presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic neuron, and this gap between them are called synaptic cleft. Cleft is the gap present in the synapse, and so this gap is present between the terminal button of the presynaptic neuron and dendrite or the cell body of the postsynaptic neuron, and they are called synaptic cleft. So this cleft, this gap here is synaptic cleft. Okay. So when stimulated, when there is a nerve impulse from a presynaptic neuron reaches the synapse, and that has to be transmitted to the postsynaptic neuron. When there is a stimulation, when there is a nerve impulse from the presynaptic neuron reaches the synapse, there will be diffusion of neurotransmitter. There will be diffusion of neurotransmitter from the synaptic vesicles into the synapse, into the synaptic cleft, and that stimulates the postsynaptic neuron. And the neurotransmitter diffuses from the synaptic vesicles into the synaptic cleft. It enters the synaptic cleft. So it is this is synaptic vesicle containing neurotransmitter will be released into the synaptic cleft. Okay. And these neurotransmitters which are being released into the synaptic cleft attaches with the receptor sites or receptor cells of the postsynaptic neuron, and that initiates a nerve impulse. The neurotransmitter stimulates the postsynaptic neuron and to initiate a nerve impulse. And the neurotransmitters include adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine, serotonin, gamma aminobutyric acid, in short GABA or GABA. Then acetylcholine, histamine, all these are neurotransmitters which are responsible for transmitting the nerve impulse from a presynaptic neuron to a postsynaptic neuron. Okay, so here you can see, the neurotransmitters released into the synaptic cleft, which binds with the receptor cells of the postsynaptic neuron and stimulates the postsynaptic neuron, and the nerve impulse will be carried by the postsynaptic neuron further forward. And after the stimulation, these neurotransmitters will be taken back by the presynaptic neuron itself. Okay. And this is how the transmission of nerve impulse takes place at the synapse. I hope you all got my points, and if you like, please like the video and share, and thanks for watching.